So this is a quick montage video of what happens in our xBrat team. So there's live trade rooms, sometimes 2 or 3 a day on different channels. We've got education on how to optimize trading strategies with automated strategy builders, even interaction with our community and answering questions. So this is a quick montage video just to show you just a few things that happened this week.
Well, there we go. Okay, it's taken the first contract off at target 2. It's adjusted the trailing stop now. Got a short-term support here on the native time frame, but I'm locked in with those 2 other contracts now, risk-free. So it's doing what it should do.
At this point in time, this is just out of the box stuff, so I'm not going to go through it. Like I said, this is out of the box parameters. So I hit apply, just so it all locks in. Okay, and then I'm not going to make any changes. We're going to just run it straight out of the box first and see what happens. So you go to this enable, like when you're ready to run, you click enable, and then the other, by the way, the other reason I use 2 screens and put the Guardian Zone off this one, because if the Guardian Zone was on this one and we're optimizing, you're going to lose time while Guardian Zone refreshes again. So every time you might run this 10 times and you have to wait for the Guardian Zone to run. It's not that you couldn't put it on after you have everything optimized. It's just a lot easier because what I do is I optimize every week on my strategies that are out there. Okay, so I've enabled this. I'm going to hit apply. You get the little message. You hit OK. Oh, this one's actually not too bad right out of the box. So out of the box, if you look down below, this lower section is the profit history, okay? And you can get a general idea that in that 6-day period of time, you made about a little over $2,500, it looks like. But, and there's a trade that's currently going on. It hasn't taken off yet. You can see the trailing stop that's running here from the slingshot. But I'm going to go and look at, if you right click on the board anywhere, the chart, you'll see strategy performance. You'll see the slingshot 1.1, and then you look at real time and historical. Now let me bring the report over here. So when I look at the report, from this time frame, January 17th through today, we made a net of just under $2,600. So bringing this in. Okay, so a couple things here. The profit was about the same, a little bit less. However, you can see the profit factor increased. It was like 2 point something. It's up to 5.4. Longs are at 9, and this one on the shorts, which was 1.65, is up to 3.4. But big time, look at the max drawdown. That had been 1,008, and now we're sitting at 193. Now we're taking 31 trades before. We're down to 21, but we have an overall about 86% win rate there.
Paul, may I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't find where I can write my question, so I ask like this.
Okay.
First question, did you decide on copper and later on maybe on crude oil because of the volume?
Yes.
What?
So a lot of copper was my first instrument that I got married to, purely because it's got good moves around the London Open, and sometimes when those moves happen well, they continue all the way through that European morning. And then over time, I found that oil has the same sort of reaction around London. And, for me personally, pre-market US was always a thing when I lived in Europe, and especially now in Dubai. It's about when is the best time for you to trade around your life as well. So that instrument that you get married to, if you like, has to be the one that that performs when you're able to be trading. And you shouldn't be trading 8 hours a day. You should be trading 60 minutes to 90 minutes a day. So you've got to find those sweet spots. And this is where those ASBs come in, the automated strategy builders, because they help you refine those particular things. So I just move this off the screen a little bit. When we look at oil, and I go to the strategy that's running right now, you know, that's had the last 30 days, it's made me $20,000, okay? But the times of the day actually works for me as well. So this is EST time, 4 a.m. to 5:30. So that's midday for me, okay? That's really good for me in Dubai. I can watch that. And that's on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Thursday, okay? And then 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. EST, guess what? I'm still around, okay? And then 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., I'm around, okay? So that works. There are some afternoon ones. That's in the night for me, so that's no good for me. But if you're in the US, that 3:30 to 4 p.m. is pretty hot. And then when I look at the oil slingshot and I look at the strategies, that work I've done tells me that actually 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. is pretty good. So that's pre-market US. So that's my morning if I'm around to trade. We got a 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. EST. So again, I've got options then. If the range breakout's not looking good, but I've got a good move and it's trending, I can actually switch to slingshot. And then we've got a 9 a.m. to 9:25 a.m. every day. So if the slingshot, we've got lots of resistance there for the slingshot and it doesn't look like it's going to work at that 9 a.m. But actually the range that's forming around that 9 a.m. period, that 10 minutes, if it breaks out, we're going to, if it overlaps like yesterday, for example, if it overlaps the 15-minute zone and I've got lots of fresh air, I'm more likely to trade the range breakout than I am slingshot. I could add to that on these, because this is a 10-minute chart. So these little pullbacks we see, these 2 candle red pullbacks, I could add to my position with the slingshot. So it gives me options with that confluence strategy. But one of the first things to do with the instrument that you choose is to figure out what times of the day you can trade. And it shouldn't be 8 hours a day, Christine, maximum 2 hours.
Yeah.
And does that make sense?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
So this was just a short snapshot, but I hope you can see that there's lots going off in xBrat teams, whether that's live trade rooms with futures, whether it's education on options, stocks with our stocks predator, that constant contact with not just me but my trading team when we're running those live sessions and giving you that education as well, and that constant contact support for using our software and strategies. Just come along, join. It's $300 for the year, access to lots of live trading rooms, lots of education, and be part of this growing community.